Okay, cool.
So, I forgot that one.
Oh, hey, it's Rich.
Hey,
Hey.
I was like, did you hack in?
Yeah, hacked in by clicking the link.
I posted it on my Facebook account. We might get other people joining too.
Great, let's see who else shows
Alright,
up.
I'm following him.
When Will comes on, I'll explain to Will and Rich what we're doing right here. And
So the first one you type in is a year. We come back to this. That's a year. 2021. And then they say the payroll name. I believe you can type in lowercase. Oops, you cannot. Then you have to type it.
okay, so wait, let's go. I'm writing these payroll data year.
Okay, so the payroll data year is 2021. Payroll name should be in cap. Okay, and then 2. And
What does 2 mean? Check sort?
Check sort order.
Yeah, I know what that means. I just didn't see what it was check sort.
Yeah, check sort order. 2 or 1 or 2.
Yep.
I think 2 is by districts, and
Yep.
then by last name, something
Yep.
like that.
And then one of them's by location.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim knows them all now.
Now
And payday?
here's payday. Now we just introduced a new one called the mid. Now mid will jump whether it's a 15 or maybe 16. If it's a Saturday, Sunday, then it's gonna be the day before. It will be a Friday before that day, right? So here's is very complicated. You don't want to get there. So A21 2020. Correct? Yes. Okay. Right. So here, let me pause here for a while, and then I go back to the chat. The chat. It's so chat. Oops. So I cannot chat while I share my screen. So I cannot chat while sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Jim?
you could. Yeah. I just don't know how to do it. When you're sharing your screen, there is a move your cursor, and there should be like a little bar that opens up at the top or the bottom. And then you can click on I think it's
at the top. You have all your controls at the top when you're screen sharing, and there should be chat there. Are you trying to get to Zoom chat or Teams chat?
This is a Zoom chat.
Yeah, it should be at the top, middle.
Actually, do you see it says meeting
There.
controls?
Yeah, right there.
That one has chat
And there
on it.
should be chat there. Yeah.
Meeting, yeah. It say RH, but I click on that and not. Oh, okay. So you see here 2020, and then I think we type in EOM.
For whatever reason, we're only looking at a screen that shows your Zoom. I think you moved your window.
Now, do you see the chat screen?
Yeah, you just type EOM in chat.
Yeah, you see the chat. Yeah. So that's what I want. This one is for Jim. You asked for this. Yep. So pay extract. That's less than EOD. By the way, EOD or anything you want to type. I type in EOD, stand for end of data.
Okay. So that's just a signal for the end of the
signal.
call.
Yeah. So if it match that string again, then it will stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I type in EOM, and then the payroll. I think we type in the payday. It's 09/10/2020, and then the pay ending period is 08/31/2020.
So it's a 10th payroll, so it uses the prior month end date.
Right. And then they say, is this correct? We type in yes. And then the next one is ask for the district, right? The district, we type in, this is an example, so I would type in I004, I007.
Is that lower or can be upper? Is it lower or upper, Tuan?
Yeah, I think earlier I typed lowercase is also work. And then we type E, and then type E, and then we type yes. Okay, so let's go back to this screen, my sharing screen.
And that's only if you're selecting specific districts. Otherwise, you just
Right.
get
I004, I007, and then we type E, and then yes. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna demo this again. I'm gonna Control C, break it, remove pay extract, and I type in pay extract. Here's a demo EOD. Type in 2021. You type in EOM, and you type in 09/10/2020, A31/2020. You type in yes, and you type in I004, I007. You type in E, and you type in yes, and now we have EOD. Now you see it fly. Oops, we're missing the short. Oh man.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Blew it up.
Okay, hang on, do it again. Somewhere we're missing the short command. It's QSSOPR. Let's see. Did you get the idea, huh?
Yep. Tell me, I totally got this all written down. Tell me when you're ready for me to talk about what I think is next. And I'll introduce Rich and Will to what we're doing here.
EOM. EOM, and then what do we type? I think the payday is 09. 10, 31. Oh, I forgot. Someone help me. So after this, is this a short or it's prompt for yes, no?
How they go to the run sheet.
Man.
Give me a.
I think it's.
I think it's yes because it says, are these correct? Are these values correct is what it asks you.
Okay, and that's we'll type in 2. Type in that's are you sure? I'm not sure about that.
It's okay because I think
That's what threw it out last time. So we'll.
No, last time we missing the short order.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now we
Check
might be
stories
wrong.
after the payroll name.
Oh, okay. Luckily we haven't. Okay, so we do a pay extract. There you go. Oop, I didn't mean that. Remove. Last try. We got pay extract. Come on. Okay. Even you type that E, like 2021. That's EOM. And then short type it 2. And
There we go.
219/10/2020. OA 31/2020. And then yes. And then is this the district, right?
Yep, that's what I got.
Okay.
What is the E for?
Because earlier I typed in EOD, but now I keep
Oh, you put
hitting
yeah,
mistake, so I just put E.
yeah, that's right. Okay,
Okay, you saw that. Now
I
it
saw
just
that.
fly by itself.
Okay,
Okay, so back to you.
okay. So Rich and Will, what we're talking about is, and I'll go ahead and share my screen. We're talking about that Tuan has created a encompassing script that calls for the pay extract to run, and it passes off the variables. That's what he's done, right? My question is, and what we also know is, there are things that we're going to know from DBAS, okay? And what my thought is, of all the parameters, and if you're looking at my screen, these are the parameters that Tuan identified. The first parameter is just simply a piece of text that identifies the end of file, payroll date, year, payroll name. Of all these parameters, what parameters can we derive based upon the information we get from DBAS? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so what information do we get from DBAS?
All the districts are on the Pay 513.
So we got, let's take a look. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to be slick with my, are you able to see this file that I'm sharing? And I'll zoom in.
You open the Pay 513.
Okay. So number one, we know, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go here. What do we know? We know all the districts. Okay. We also know, let's see, we know, what does this tell us anything that we care about?
No, that was just a login district when they ran the report.
Okay. This one, what is this information?
That is the
Payday,
actual
the
pay date.
issue day.
So we know the pay date, payroll, or pay date.
Yeah, let's use
Right.
the same term.
If we know the pay date, is it fair to say that we can derive the payroll date year?
We got to think about liability payroll, but other than that, we should be able to.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
complicated.
Yeah,
we will avoid that July. It's complicated.
We
You have to
did
change
avoid
the
July.
change
is there
the year.
anything on this report that DBAS would have already identified the payroll date year, fiscal year?
No,
You don't see anything that says what the fiscal year is?
no. If it's after July up to December, it should be the calendar year plus one.
Yes. Is there any reason why it wouldn't be?
Based off of month and year, then maybe we should be able to derive it.
Okay. So I'll tell you, I'll just jump in the fire here so that you guys can prove me wrong, because I'm totally like being proved wrong. I think if we know what the payroll date is, we can write a real simple query that says, if this date is after July 1st, then the payroll year is going to be the current year. I'm sorry, if this date is after July 1st, but before December 31st, then the payroll date should be the current year plus one. If the date is after December 31st, but before June 30th, the payroll year is going to be the current year.
No, the cutoff is somewhere in mid-July because of the liability payroll.
July 10.
Yeah.
After
Well,
July
let's
10.
talk about that one. Is it only because of the liability payroll that you're talking about?
Pretty much.
If the payroll is July 10th okay, so July 10th, totally get you on that one, Tuan, right? So the
After July 10. After
yeah.
July 10, then it will be the calendar year plus one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd say that is it fair to say that putting enough parameters around it, we can define it? Okay. What I'm looking for is either yes or no, but I got to hear something. Chris, you saying yes?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, and
I think that handles it.
Okay. Payroll date year, payroll name. It's on there.
Well, that's week 10, but we wrote EOM and we were just, when Tuan was demoing. So.
No, I know, but my point is that DBAS will already have to select that, right? So we
Yes.
don't have, we know that they will provide that for us. Check sort. We're going to
So
default it
it's
to 2.
Default
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Not a problem. Pay date. This one right here, I don't know. Can we derive the pay date from this?
That's the day right there. That's the
Payroll
payday.
date
Payroll day.
I'm missing it.
to your left, right there. Payroll dated.
That's the
Oh,
one
that's right. We got that
set
one.
at the beginning.
We got that one. End of period is the one that now I'm wondering. Can we derive end of period?
Based on the payroll type. Yeah, it has to have some logic in it.
I think that if we said that if the payroll date is the 10th, I mean, if the pay name is 10th and the payroll date is equal to the 10th, we know that those match up, then we
Then
can
it's
easily
prior.
say that the end of date is the last day of the prior month.
Correct.
If the payroll name is mid, and we'd always want to make sure that we have that these reports match, right? And the payroll is dated 9/20, then we would say that the end of month is going to be, I don't know, but we could derive that one. Is that
the end of the month that it's in? But what I guess that's fine. I was thinking this any day outside of the 10th, it would probably just be the end of that month for the payroll.
we could do that too, right?
End date.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that we can tighten this so tight that it increases the chances of failure. If the chances of failure are increased, that's okay. It just means that an analyst has to approve that next step. Does that make sense? So it might be that the analyst has to say, yes, I verify that this information is correct, and then allows the process to go. Okay. 10th. And then let's go with, are these correct? That's easy, right?
That's a default. If they're already doing it automatically, yeah, sure.
Okay. So what I'm gonna now make a proposition on, Tuan, is if they upload this pay 513, all of these will be in the file that you get.
A flat file.
Yeah.
I will see how's the order, but I mean how the format look like.
Yeah, they always have to import it the exact same way as PDF, or should we force it in any other version?
So I don't. I'm going to answer Tuan's question first, then Rich's question after that one. So absolutely, Tuan, your script will have to depend. Your script will say, I need the data in exactly this format, right? Ravi's job will be to get the data in exactly that format. No question about that.
Okay.
But there is no data in here that can't be derived off the 513. Now, one of the things that Ravi asked me was he told me, and Will, if you have anything to add, you're welcome to jump in. If you don't have anything to add, that's okay if you don't jump in either. One of the things that Ravi told me was it would be difficult for him to strip a PDF file. So I've got two questions. How is this pay 513 generated? Could it be generated outside of the user interface? Or maybe let me throw it a different question. When the pay 513 is generated, could they save it to the print spool?
It's generated as a print file, just plain ASCII text, and then evidently someone has PDFified it to send it, but it does not have to be put into PDF format.
Okay, okay. When they generate it as a print file, how is it presented to the end user? Is it presented as just a screen with text on it?
It's a file in their print queue.
It's a file in the print queue, okay. Could we, this is kind of what I'm getting at is, let's say if I have a file in my print queue, is there a unique identifier to that file? A job number, for example?
Yeah, they all have job numbers. You can see the job number on this file here, J75666.
The job number is just an odometer. Each job gets the next number.
So we can guarantee that that job number is unique to this run, right? I mean, no other district will have a job number with J75666, will they?
Not for a while.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
Not until we
Okay.
get
I mean,
to
like not.
100,000 more. Yeah.
Okay. So it's fair to say that it's a unique identifier.
But if I could just jump in for a second, right now, I'm not sure what the user process is, but it must be they request this job, it produces the print file, they go and open the print file and then export it as a PDF and send it somewhere. Well, they could just as easily change that procedure to, instead of exporting as the PDF, just export it as TXT and send it somewhere.
Okay. Okay. That's number one is one. Export as TXT and then upload. And the upload is what Ravi's working on. He's creating a site. What I was going to suggest was, and maybe this isn't good, I don't know, but I thought they know the job number J75666. What if they just go into Ravi's thing and enter J75666, and then Tuan, you go out to the print spooler and pull that file out? Could you do that?
Mm-hmm. I do it manual. I do it with manual or script, but how do I get this number? They give me.
They would enter that in Ravi's form. So you know how Ravi's going to post a file for you, right?
So the whole thing is very abstract. It's out there, but I don't know how it's going to look like.
They're just going to manually give us that job number, Tuan. So you'll get the job number from the form that Ravi accepts in.
Yeah, and the way that I'm seeing this, and my brain sometimes works faster than it is even in value. So forgive me if I'm getting things wrong, but you've written some type of script called pay extract, right? And this is what you're passing parameters to.
Yeah.
Right? What if the parameters that you passed to pay extract were J75666? What that would then do is your script would go to the print spooler, grab J75666, and extract that text file. This is where Chris comes in. Chris would then write code that would strip all these variables from that text file and then pass those on to the remainder of your script, Tuan.
By the way, that pay extract, it's a preserve commands.
Okay, let's call this one pre-pay extract.
Okay.
And then pre-pay extract will then grab file. It will strip data. It will actually create a variable list and then call pay extract with variables. So what do you think?
Well, that certainly is all doable and it's very slick. My concern would be that there's an abstraction happening there that the user now is sending you a number rather than something that they're calling up and physically signing off on. And there's proof that what they sent you and what you got really are the same thing.
Okay. Let me tell you how I was going to solve that problem, because you are thinking ahead of me, but I'm ready for you. This step at the end of this end of pay extract, right? Returns to prepay extract. This prepay extract, Chris, is I'm giving to you. Okay. Now what happens is end user is emailed the J75666 and 2 the message that indicates pay extract matched J7566 if no errors. Oops. 3, link to approve. Okay, so my answer to your question, Will, is at first I was thinking, let's let the end user upload the pay extract. But then I thought, why don't we just email them the pay extract that was used to run it? And so that they can not only look at that pay extract, but look at it at the exact same time that they're saying, I verify the results of pay extract. I shouldn't say it. I'm sorry. I said the wrong words. Instead of having the user. Okay, yeah.
That all sounds great.
Do you think that covers the issue that you were thinking?
Yes, it does. Very nicely.
By the way, Bill, I'm recording that and I will take that very nicely soundbite and I'm going to loop it. Tuan and Chris, do you see that? What I'm doing here?
Yeah, but so they ran the report and then they say it's approved. What is a trigger? Where's a trigger to kick my script run?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get that up here. So we got Ravi web page asks 1, what is the job you created for payroll? 2, what is your email? Ravi then uses p-link to call pay prepay extract with parm of job number, comma, and passes email. So we got 2 variables that we're passing. So now, Chris, this is what it would look like. jcarrillo@sccoe.org. And then that way you would then use this to strip the data and use this to email there.
What is, where is prepay extract? Where is it getting this data from? Is it getting it from
A job.
Ravi's
Are you talking
database?
about, so prepay extract is your script. Your script is being passed with 2 parameters. 1 is the job number and 2 is an email address.
Okay.
Your script will go into the print spooler to grab that job number so it can strip the data out of that job number.
So it's parsing the job.
Yeah. Now, some of the real front end checks, and this is going to create failures, which failures on this script are good. Failures mean that we caught an inconsistency. The first thing is, on this job, it's going to make sure that it's a pay 513 that's been run. The second thing is it's going to validate that this date corresponds to the pay name. If they're trying to run this on the 30th, but they use a pay name on the 10th, we should fail, right? These are all the checks that we can do ahead of time that as humans, we can recognize. We should also be checking to make sure that there's more than one district or, the little, I don't know, this is things that I'd have to talk with the payroll people to find out, how would you know something looks fishy? If you can pass through all the fishy tests, then you're going to be able to take that and create that file with those variables. That file, I'm sorry, that pay extract is what Chuan's working on, and the variables you now have just pre-validated. When you receive that right here, let's see, right? End of pay extract returns to pay, okay. When you receive that end of thing, Tuan should be passing off to you things like districts run, number of checks, the basic information that an analyst would be looking at. And then in here, Chris would be saying, does that pay extract, J7566, does the data that I've parsed from that one, does it match the number of districts that were output out of Tuan's? Do the number of checks match? This is the things that the analysts would have done when they say, yes, this matches, and yes, this matches. So we're still validating all this information. We're giving a lot of error or chances for it to error out, and erroring out in this case is good because it means that it did not comport to standards, and we're doing it through a routine. I don't know. Did I answer your question, Chris?
So prepay extract is generating, it's parsing the P file or
Yep.
the job file, and then it's also creating the flat file for
Yep.
Tuan.
And it's using the data from the 513 to validate the output of pay extract.
Yeah, because what's on the job is from the report.
That's right. So we should see 3,358 checks produced. And that output, and actually, there's no reason why you couldn't do this. You can literally validate the number of checks for every district. That's going to be in the output, right, Tuan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, Tuan, where's that job number stored?
You mean the standard list?
Yeah, or whatever file I would have to parse.
In the principal, or how will you
It's the
access
same
that?
idea as the AP. That
Oh,
you
it's
get.
the same
Yeah.
place?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Jim, in Robbie's script that asks for email, do they validate or accept in their email once they put it in through to prevent spoofing?
Okay, that's a good one. So you're saying have a recursive thing where then Robbie will email them to say you have to click on it. That's one possibility, right?
Right.
Another thing that we can do is require a unique password for that given email, a simple password check, right?
Mm-hmm. That works too.
Enter your
That
email
has been
and your
heard of
password.
before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can ask Robbie to put that. He can even, I think he should be able to reference, like for example, if he does it in SharePoint, he should be able to reference that they're logged in.
That's true. That would be pretty cool.
So then if that's the case, then he doesn't have to worry about that validation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tuan, does that, I know that you kind of weren't seeing where I was going with this one, but does that make much more sense to you, or are you still thinking I'm way off my rocker on this?
No, I know my parts, but you know, Rabbi and who else I can answer.
All
But,
right.
you know, as long as you Chris feed me the file, I process this, and I can return him back like you want a district number and number of checks. To me, very easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm going to work on vocabulary. So we're going to get rid of everybody I talk to. We're going to get rid of the word but, kill that word. Because but basically says, but everything I said before this is ignored. This is what I really mean. You look great, but your haircut looks like crap. No, that's what people say to me. So the other thing I want us to all do is to recognize we all don't know how to do everything. And so I know Chris is going to have to struggle a little bit through this stuff, right? How do I get this? And you have skill sets that can help Chris through that. And I know you do, because just you talking to me makes me realize how much more smarter that you are than I am. So, so we will all contribute to helping each other get through it, right? Even if that means, okay, we can help Robbie realize, hey, you know, this is what's not working. How can we solve this problem? Kind of like turning it into a collaboration mindset, as opposed to, what I don't want is, hey, Chris, this is your job. Tuan, this is your job. Robbie, this is your job. You guys, if the other person doesn't do their job, they're screwed. Let's collaborate to figure out, how can we figure this out? What can we do if we're stuck?
Tuan, tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I turn to
No,
who's that guy? Forgot his name already.
Yeah.
I always reach out to Tuan when I
Get
need
stuck.
advice, because
Yeah.
people don't realize how much Tuan knows. So if I start banging in my head, I reach out to Tuan.
Yeah. All right. So with that, this right here, I think is a big jump. That's going to be a lot of work there, Chris. I don't know, do you feel that's overwhelming to you, or you got You're like, I got it handled.
Well, so maybe Tuan, you can answer it. So this is just like the AP print job. So it's in PCL and so it's a P
Yeah,
file and it needs to be converted to
no, it's a P file. It's a text file already.
so I could just
You
read
can
it.
you just go in and you grab for that string.
Okay,
And
so
when you get the string, you can cut that string because
Okay.
either it's a fixed length.
yeah, that's the
You
one
get-
part that I'm wondering about. So I should be able to read that that J75666. I can search through that text.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you will see
Yeah.
the same thing as that PDF, but there's some escape code, but you don't care because you grab for your string, and if it matches that, it returns you the whole line.
When I've done text parsing, sometimes I depend on fixed width. So like, for example, if I were to open this up in a thing, I would know that this is always going to be at character 0. Column 0. So column 0, 1, 2, and 3 would be the district number. Is that how this is set up, that it's a fixed width? We can guarantee that these columns, this data will exist?
Yeah, it's a fix. It's always like that.
Yeah. So like what I would have done, Chris, and I am talking old school crap here. So there's so many more elegant ways to do this one. But the first thing I would have done was I would look up for the line that starts with district and has employees on character number, whatever, 72. Once I found that line, I would say, okay, the next line will be my first district number, and continue to loop through it until my district number is null. And I would know I've reached the end of that record. And now that's how I would have gotten my district numbers. Same thing I would have done to get this information is, as I would have said, I know that it's always going to be on row 2.
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
would
blah.
say I would say that's probably going to be the most challenging part, since it's kind of like a table.
Yeah.
That'll be the most challenging part of it. But we'll see.
Okay.
You can't do anything.
We'll see. If I hit a roadblock, I'll
Chris,
let
you
you
can't do
all
anything.
know. I just haven't done it before, so
Like how we use file downloader, right? You can't do something like that for this.
well, yeah.
I mean, you are going to, what are
What
you going to write in? Are you going to do a bash, a script?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe a Python script. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
How would you execute Python on the production server?
I think is it on there? Let me see.
I'm totally
It
fine with
has
Python.
per.
There's Python on there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to start playing around.
I was looking. The job number not be enough because there's multiple files that get created when they do that process. So,
Keep on going. What? Yeah, sure.
You need the job number and also the one other column in the.
Let me show you how to look for that.
So Tuan, are you using the PQ area or?
Yeah, here I show you the trick to look for that.
Okay. Yeah, because when Linnell provided that file, she actually had 3 files for that same job number for the payroll run.
The payroll pre-list job does have the ability to put out multiple print files, but each print file is uniquely identified by the program name and other attributes as well.
Oh, so that's not nothing that we would get. That's not nothing the user would have to tell us. Chris would just have to know, always look for this type of job number from this program.
If they give
What's the job number again?
He would need the prog title.
What is the job number?
J75666. Now this is on production. I guess it's probably exists.
Yeah.
Okay. So she ran in the QCC, she ran pay sub and she select pay 513. So if Chris look for the file, is right here. He gonna search this file. So I do this VI. And then, oops, I didn't get it. Look like I did not get that file. Let me try that again. To select, and then copy. Now, oh, because of the escape code, it messed up the screen. But let's see what happened. That's so as Will said, it's a multiple reports in here, and we look for that string. Say, did it say payroll 10 something? Let me see. That's the keyword.
At the very top, it should say pay 513, PAYF 513.
Is that job?
Is that lowercase?
No, all uppercase.
Hey, you know what? This job has the exact questions you need for your, where, it's got the payroll
True.
data year, it's got,
In the same-
it's got everything you want right there.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So you don't need to reinvent it.
Yeah, you can harvest it right from there. Payroll date, data year, payroll name.
Pay 510, right?
I totally am lost at what you said, Rich, but it looked like what was showing on the screen, what Will said actually. What Will saw on the screen was all the data we needed.
Yes.
Why would that file have had that information in it?
The selection criteria that they use for when they're running to get those files.
So
In order to produce the Pay 513 report, the user has to supply the same information you're going to use in payroll. So instead of the user typing in the information, we get a Pay 513 report, which we still will need to get the districts and whatnot. We could harvest it directly out of here, and it's already in the format that you need it, and you don't have to make any assumptions about anything.
Even to the extent of they've answered what check sort they want, right?
No, not check sort.
Oh,
Not
okay.
check sort. Check sort's hard coded at production.
Okay.
But everything else, yeah. That's pretty funny.
Okay, that's a report right here.
Yeah, that looks like it, right?
So
Yeah,
Payroll
that's-
so
data.
this was the special payroll edits.
Yeah, that's the Pay 513 is the special payroll edits file that they send.
So
out.
this is the file I would need to search through.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the district list in here. Do you see it? Oh, it's just in one of the lines at the very
Yeah, I
end.
have to move down.
Hold down.
Yeah.
And,
Just,
Oh, okay, okay.
well, maybe. So look like that page is a last page. Yeah, that's a.
There it
So
is.
you go to the bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
That's true. They're only giving us the last page of that report when they're sending it in.
Oh, so with the earlier pages, we have more data in there.
Yeah.
On the earlier pages, did it, I'm sorry for
There you go.
I'm catching up to you guys. Are you saying that they identified the payroll date year as well as the end of period?
Yes. And in the job request. So you have
Okay.
a job request file, and then you have the output print files.
So we didn't really have to derive any of the data other than check sort is standard. All of those other datas, they entered the pay date when they ran the Pay 513. They entered the payroll date year. They entered the payroll name.
They did.
We don't have to derive anything.
if you can get hold of that file.
And when you say if you can get hold of that file, you're saying that in a sense that, yes, it's totally possible to get a hold of that file. We just need to get a hold of that file.
Right, and the job number is the key to it.
Yeah,
Right,
the job
okay.
numbers of the requests they made.
All right, Chris, you got
It's
your,
just it's a standard list file rather than a print file. So you'd still want the print file as well to get the totals and stuff.
Yeah, I wrote something similar before for Lydia, actually, for um, generating files based off of a payroll job number. So I think I might be able to reuse part of it. Yeah, the part, yeah, like I said, it'll just be going through this file and getting everything. That'll be the challenge. We'll see. Probably not impossible.
Probably not.
You guys kill me with your terminologies here because I don't know when you guys are joking or when you're not.
I'm half joking.
Good.
It's probably possible, but
I'm going to jump into it's absolutely possible, and I have 100% faith, Chris, that you'll be able to pull it off. And if you need any help, you let me know. I'll hire somebody to show you whatever you don't know. And the person's name is Tuan.
I know. I was gonna say, Tuan knows whether it's possible or not, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that what we're doing here is easy. It's not. It's sophisticated.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do sophistication, the development process once. This will get us out of having to, any one of us having to log in and type these commands again and again and again. Or having to plan our vacations around payroll because we're afraid that nobody can run payroll.
So just to review, so Tuan, so I'm looking at the standard list, getting the P file, then searching through the P file for the special payroll edit.
I think you
Correct.
don't
Okay.
have to go through all that, Chris. You can get all that data from the standard list of the job number, is what Will is trying to say.
You get that job number, then you get the standard list, store that into a variable.
Oh wait, you're saying I don't even need to look at the P file?
No, you need the P file because you'll need that for the final verification.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
okay.
counts and amounts match.
Oh, okay.
But all the parameters you can get from the standard list.
Yeah, for the payroll itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be exact. They'll be exactly what the user typed in.
See, it's just beautiful, right?
So I'm sorry. Why do I need to look at the P file?
To get
the
the
total.
counts.
Oh.
At the end of Tuan's process, you have to verify that it produced the same thing.
Oh, okay. Just for the verification. Okay.
Correct.
And I think we're going to probably in some way, when we email whoever it is that submitted this, I don't know if you can just attach a copy of that P file so that they can look at it, or however you can format it in the email. I don't care how that's done.
So I'm only looking at the P file to make sure that the generated payroll is going to actually be what they selected.
That's right.
All right. Okay. Just they got out what they put in, basically. Yeah. Okay.
And then they sign it in blood.
I think we should test this in San Benito first.
They don't
So
even
by the
use
way,
Big in San Benito, though. They have nothing to test.
Yeah. The way that we're going to test this is we're going to allow it to be fully automated. But Tuan, what I want you to do is I want you to put pauses in your script and wait for a user input to say yes, yes. So instead of us actually, I don't want to just run an automation and say, let's hope everything goes well. What I want to do is run the automation with pauses in it and we can watch it as it's happening. Same thing with Chris, with yours, is you should grab the data out of the file and then pause your program and write it to the screen so we can look at it and say, yeah, that looks good. Keep on going. You know, if your program is collecting data and it's like totally giving gibberish, we want to stop it. We don't want to allow that script to keep on going with gibberish. So we're going to put our arms around this. We're going to protect ourselves. We're not going to automate something and all of a sudden allow it to happen. We will have people on top of it, even if the operators have to start watching it and they're validating it. But I can guarantee you that will be much more enjoyable than them logging into Putty and typing all this stuff and all that stuff.
Now behind the automation is always right into a lock, just like Putty. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then
yes.
you can throw in some pause to hit spacebar until you feel the script work 100%. But you don't have to, and then you because we in the testing mode anyway. So
That's right.
we review the log file.
You're totally right. In the test environment, I'm not too worried about anything going wrong because who cares, right?
Yeah, you just have it call Marie whenever it hits a pause.
The little
I'm just
things
kidding.
that, yeah, I know. Don't worry. I know. I know that you're kidding on that one. I think that the critical feature here is because not the operator, the DBAS will have to type in the identification of that job. That will be what prevents some random payroll from being run. Because number one, let's say they picked an old payroll. How would we ever prevent that? Chris's script is going to validate that. Chris, your script is going to have to know that a payroll has already been run on a particular job. So it's going to need to reference some type of log file. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We can't allow payroll to be operated on twice.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's why we might want to revisit the
database.
The storing in database later.
I totally agree with you. I think our log file in a database is much easier to access than a
I mean it's pretty straightforward to check a text file and say if you find a line with this job, then error out or something. But
you could just code
but yeah, I mean text files after a while.
Yeah,
you could code all the pay save IDs
unwieldy. So yeah,
so
I don't know. That's just something to think about later.
Yeah, so Rich, you just said if you just write it all to that table, then every time you're running it, you check that table before you run to make sure it wasn't already.
Yeah, just exhaust pay save IDs because it's always going to be a new date.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy. Will, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
There's something in the chat, and I'm like, what is the hell is that?
That was just, something for consideration that, the parameters for the SOLDIS stuff. One of the options, and I added it back in the HP 3000 days for when we were processing Evergreen separate from the county, and they ran their own AP, was the ability to get the district list from a file instead of the I commands. So if it's easier to produce a file of the district numbers to pass as a parameter, or explicit I commands is an alternative. Now, I've never ran that since the switch over to Linux background, so I don't know if it even works or not, but I was just pointing out these are the options available within SOLDIS in case.
Yeah, that's an option. I knew about that option. But since if you provide a list of districts as a separate file, then we have two files to read in. So I rather read one file, and that file has all the payday, and then the district will break by I, and then the district number I, and then district number.
Yeah, however you want to deal with it. It sounds like you already know the options. That's great. And what you just described makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Gosh, I feel like we're almost there.
Yeah. All right.
So no weight on your shoulders, Chris, but you are now the man with the ball.
Yeah.
Rich, the bars are open, so you and I are headed out.
We'll wait till the smoke clears, though.
That's right. Okay, very good. I'm glad that we made all that progress. I will share this recording on YouTube with you guys if you want it. If you don't want it, no big deal.
Cool. I'm subscribed, so I'll see
Chris might want to see it, right, Chris?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the most reluctant.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is the terminology. I'm not familiar with running payrolls, so I mean, as long as I know where I need to look to get what I need, that's the main thing.
Yeah, if you have any questions on the process stuff, then
yeah. If anything, I might need your help testing it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.